Hi everyone, my name is Danielle, and today I will be sharing my presentation with you from Dragons to Dances, exploring Lunar New Year's and Assyrian New Year's. The purpose of this project was to explore and experience how ethnic communities come together to celebrate their rich traditions while promoting cultural visibility and empowerment. Through a focus on Assyrian and Chinese New Year celebrations, I aim to understand how these communities express resilience and preserve their cultural identities in the face of historical and ongoing challenges. By immersing myself in their traditions through dance, music, food, and strong intergenerational participation, I was able to witness how these cultural events not only honor heritage, but also serve as a powerful act of community strength and continuity. The first event that I attended was the Lunar New Year's celebration at Hakone Gardens. Lunar New Year is a deeply rooted tradition in Chinese culture and many other East and Southeast Asian cultures that marks the start of the lunar calendar. This year, 2025, specifically celebrates the year of the snake. The snake zodiac sign is associated with wisdom, transformation, and renewal. Lunar New Year's has been celebrated for centuries, and it's a beautiful time which holds immense cultural significance as a time for family reunions, honoring ancestors, and ushering in good fortune. This event was significant because of the preservation of cultural practices and the fact that it was open to everybody in the community. By inviting the public to engage in these customs through performances, local booths, and even a children's costume parade, the celebration plays a key role in promoting cultural understanding, empowering the Chinese American community, and ensuring the visibility and transmission of traditions to younger generations. At the Hakone Gardens, the Lunar New Year's festival included a rich array of traditional performances and activities, such as the traditional lion dance, kung fu martial arts, tai chi, calligraphy, shadow puppetry, and so much more, all of which were beautiful and vital expressions of Chinese heritage and artistry. My favorite part of the day was being able to enjoy matcha with tasty dumplings while watching the lion dance, then seeing all the little kids dressed up in their traditional clothing. It was so symbolic and beautiful seeing how future generations were learning about their culture and embracing it to the public. It was truly a wonderful experience. Next, very similarly yet very differently, I celebrated another New Year's event. This one being Syrian New Year's, otherwise also called Akitu or Chab Nisan. Chab Nisan simply means the 1st of April, which is when Assyrian New Year's occurs. The Assyrians follow their ancient calendar, which starts 4,750 years before the Gregorian calendar, which is what we mainly use throughout the world today. Hence why for Assyrians, it's considered the year 6775, which they celebrate this year. The New Year's historically was celebrated to honor the Assyrian gods such as Ashur, and beyond religion was meant to reinforce political power, social order, and unity among the Assyrians. Assyrians were among one of the very first cultures to have adopted Christianity as their religion. So now, Akitu mainly symbolizes the cultural identity, heritage, and resilience of the Assyrian people. Assyrians have faced centuries of genocide, dysphoria, and persecution. Growing up Assyrian myself, nobody really knows what that is or who we are as a culture. They don't really know what Assyrian is, and sometimes when you tell somebody that you're Assyrian, they'll think that you're saying Syrian because they're just so unaware of it because of our culture being so unknown. But being able to be around friends, family, and other people, I got to celebrate my culture, see the younger and older generations come together through dance and through song. Despite the hardships we as a culture have experienced, with leaving our homes behind and starting new, it was beautiful seeing the resilience and determination of the people to continue to have joy and celebrate our survival and continuity. Regarding my experience and observations at the Assyrian New Year's party, it was very impactful. As an Assyrian myself, this was my first time being around all the Assyrians in the Bay Area that I knew, and some that I didn't know as well. I also saw some childhood friends who had brought their friends or boyfriends, girlfriends to the party to get to know their culture, which really warmed my heart. We enjoyed singing and dancing with the well-known Juliana Jendo, who sings a lot for Assyrian communities all around the world. And we also got to eat delicious kebabs. My personal favorite part of the night was probably just seeing all the younger adults and small children that were so proud of embracing their culture and were so involved in the events and the dances of the night. Seeing the little kids dressed up in traditional Assyrian clothing, dancing our traditional dances such as Sheikhane, healed a part of me that I didn't know was broken. Overall, the night was very beautiful and symbolic. When I was just a little girl in my local Assyrian community, we never got to be involved like how the adults were. We didn't get to participate in the songs and dances since we were so young and had to be taught. So seeing how that has changed over the years and the integration of the younger generation into these celebrations really had an impact on me. Next, the Lunar New Year celebration was a vibrant expression of cultural identity and renewal, closely tied to the arrival of spring, a season symbolizing hope and fresh beginnings. This event featured a strong display of pride throughout traditional clothing, community gatherings, and an atmosphere that was both festive and deeply rooted in heritage. There were many powerful and entertaining moments to me that demonstrated a commitment to upholding long-standing cultural traditions, such as the lion dance by the young adults, and also being able to watch a little girl learn how to do shadow puppetry. The active involvement of the young adults and children was so meaningful as it reflected the intentional effort to pass down ancestral practices and ensure that cultural memory continues across generations. This celebration served not only as a joyful gathering, but also as a show of resilience and cultural continuity in a society where many ethnic groups face pressures of assimilation and invisibility. Similarly, the Assyrian New Year's, also known as Chab Nisan, is a celebration of renewal, growth, and cultural endurance. Traditionally, it was celebrated over 12 days in ancient Mesopotamia. It was once a spiritual ritual to restore harmony between the Assyrian gods and humanity at the start of the agricultural season. Today, it has evolved into a powerful expression of survival, resilience, and cultural visibility, especially for our Assyrian people who have faced displacement, marginalization, and threats to their identity. The celebration featured language, food, music, which are all vital tools for preserving Assyrian heritage and expressing our cultural pride. What stood out most was the active involvement again of the youth, signaling another conscious effort to ensure that the richness of Assyrian traditions is carried forward. In this way, Chab Nisan becomes more than just a festivity. It's an act of cultural preservation and resistance, reminding both us Assyrians and the world of our enduring presence. Going to both these celebrations, I was able to make many connections and gain a deeper understanding of our course concepts. Both Assyrian and Lunar New Year's celebrations serve as vital acts of cultural preservation in response to historical and ongoing processes of assimilation and cultural repression. These events reflected broader themes in ethnic studies such as systemic racism, cultural resilience, and the intergenerational transmission of identity. For Assyrians, centuries of displacement and marginalization, exacerbated by genocide and statelessness, have threatened language, religion, and heritage, making it nearly extinct. Similarly, many East and Southeast Asian communities celebrating Lunar New Year have faced assimilation pressures and racial discrimination, particularly within Western societies that historically devalued non-European cultures. Despite this, New Year's celebrations act as a dynamic site of resistance where language, ritual, clothing, and food reclaim cultural space and affirm identity. By bringing together people of all ages and backgrounds within the community, these events create a strong sense of connection and pride. They push back against stereotypes and dominant cultural norms, helping to promote respect, visibility, and fairness for marginalized groups. Personal reflection. I'm very grateful to have been assigned this project because it really helped me to be able to see and experience firsthand what it looks like for ethnic groups of people to celebrate and uphold themselves despite all their hardships and oppression. I think this was truly an invaluable experience that I'm so grateful that I got to experience. Being able to attend celebrations like Lunar New Year's and Cheb Nisan that gave me the chance to see cultural resilience and empowerment in action through languages, through dance, through clothing, and through intergenerational participation. I now feel so much more for these communities and am truly able to connect academic concepts that I've learned in this class to these real-life experiences of these cultures and of these individuals. What we study in ethnic studies, such as ideas like systemic injustice, identity, resilience, and empowerment, are not just classroom concepts. They represent the real, everyday experiences of communities around us. When we attend cultural events or hear directly from people preserving their heritage, we begin to understand how deeply these issues impact their lives. It becomes very clear that cultural celebration is also a form of resistance, and that behind every tradition is a story of survival, pride, and strength. These experiences help us connect emotionally and critically to the material we've learned, showing that the fight for representation, equity, and cultural continuity is ongoing and deeply human. Both Assyrian and Chinese New Year celebrations serve as powerful tools for preserving cultural identity, especially in the face of assimilation, displacement, and historical trauma. These celebrations are more than just festive occasions. They are acts of cultural resilience that help keep traditions alive across generations. Through music, dance, traditional clothing, storytelling, and food, both of these cultures pass down their values and customs to younger generations, ensuring that their heritage remains vibrant and relevant. The strong involvement of families and entire communities, from elders to children, reinforces a shared identity and sense of pride. These New Year's events also strengthen community bonds and offer a special space for cultural expression, especially in diaspora communities where maintaining one's roots can be challenging. By celebrating in public through these parades, performances, and festivals, I concluded that both Assyrian and Chinese communities make their presence visible, challenging cultural erasure and educating others about their rich histories. Language, symbolism, and rituals performed during these celebrations also help sustain important aspects of their identities, including endangered languages and ancestral stories. Ultimately, these New Year's traditions are not just about marking the start of a calendar year. They're about affirming who these people are, where they come from, and the importance of carrying that forward. Lastly, I want to leave you all with this question. What are some ways that students like us can support cultural preservation? And how can we bring awareness to systemic inequities and further support these cultures? Please feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns, or just to connect. Thank you all so much.